Chapter 10, Supernova. There's no point in staying here. I'll call the SSU and have them take care of this. Hey now, Professor Cade, that's not exactly true. A guy this rich has to have some interesting treasures in a house this big. I'm gonna look around a bit before I leave. Oh yay, we get to loot his stuff. I mean, you defeat the big boss, so that means you get to take his stuff, right? That's how it works in these kind of games. Hikaru sighs and Takumi strides off, hands in his pocket, off to the second floor. This isn't illegal at all. The rest of you should go ahead and go. Hikaru, our model teacher, is just letting us pilfer from this. Okay, I'll stay here to talk to the police. And not mention anything to them about us stealing from this guy. Tatsuya glances towards the rubble where Julius's body is lying, half exposed, and quickly looks back at us. You don't have to tell me twice, Professor. But don't these two need some healing? Especially Sho. Realizing what Tatsuya said, I look at my body and flex everything. I don't think I got hurt. I realize that I have a scraped knee and a slight burn on my left arm, but nothing compared to Sho. Besides his bruised face, he got cuts and scrapes all over him. He was also holding his ribs with one hand, unable to stand up straight. Ooh, that's not a good sign. Sho, aren't you in pain? You should get checked out. Oh, I'm sorry, Sho. I was concentrating on Julius so much I didn't realize you were badly injured. No, it's alright. I didn't want to say anything till we were out of here. I'm with Tatsuya. I don't want to be here anymore either. You should still get at least a little healing before we travel with you, Sho. I look away, not able to stand seeing Sho standing there, battered and wounded because of me. He got hurt again and again because of me. Hakura, I'm sorry. What? What could you be sorry about? This is all my fault. No, if I hadn't gotten caught in the first place, you wouldn't have been lured here and gotten hurt. Stop being ridiculous, Sho. I'm barely injured compared to you, and Julius would have found a way to get to me anyway. If not through you, through someone else. Besides, that's all over and dealt with. Except for the one chick, who's probably the one pulling the strings of this whole operation. I don't know exactly how to feel about it, but Julius is dead now. I won't have to worry about anyone I care about getting hurt because of me again, except for that one Dark Phoenix, Jean Grey chick. That's when a strange droning sound starts coming from behind us. We all turn at once to see a light coming out of the rubble. Julius's body is glowing. Oh, he's about to go into his Super Saiyan mode. Julius, he's not. In the same instant that I realize this, Sho takes me in his arms, staying in front of me as the rubble explodes away from Julius's body. I feel Sho tense up in pain, but I can't do anything to stop him. Sho! When the hail of rocks is over, there stands a very annoyed Julius. Well done. You took me by surprise. It's been a while since I had to come back to life. Oh, great. That's right, he's a phoenix. He cracks his neck and I let go of the breath I had been holding. No, that's impossible. The men around me look equally stunned, though none more than Sho. He's now half doubled over in front of me, but still manages to look up at Julius. It's impossible. Phoenixes haven't been able to regenerate in thousands of years. It's the whole reason my parents are so obsessed with their research. It's not possible. And yet here I stand. It's quite pathetic, really, to see my kin fall so far from what they were in my time. Just how old are you? I heard stories about an evil phoenix, but what is time, really? After the first 1,000 years or so, it becomes utterly meaningless. See, at this point I would have blasted him. Don't let this guy do his evil villain monologue. Alright, well, he can do some exposition. That's right, I'm far older than I look. Yes, I am the evil your parents told you stories about. Julius laughs. What's wrong? I already laughed. You didn't expect that evil would look like me? Actually, there are a lot of evil evil can look like anything. Even a beautiful face can belie a monstrous soul. Some of the most evil people I know have beautiful faces. With this, Julius raises one pale hand. I mean, I thought it was evil the first time I saw him. The first moment I saw this guy, honestly. Sho braces himself in front of me. How am I supposed to beat someone who can come back to life? I don't know the answer. I don't. But I do know I can't let Sho get hurt anymore. With this new resolve, I step around and in front of Sho. Hakura, what are you doing? I'm not going to let this freak hurt you, Sho. Because I'm gonna... the hoops are coming off, ladies and gentlemen. Julius starts laughing, a hand up to his face like he just can't help himself. I throw out a hand, a shield coming up with it that covers the entire group. Whoa, the echoes of Julius's laughter die out and he tilts his head over so slightly. One long strand of black hair falls in front of his eyes. I'm struck by how wrong his severe expression is on such an elegant face. Thank you for the laugh, little butterfly. Yeah, well, this little butterfly was defending herself against you just fine, without her putting up much of a sweat. But I'm afraid I'm done playing with you. One moment Julius is there, leering at me, and the next he summoned an immense black fireball. My thoughts come slowly as I try to comprehend all the things that happen in the following seconds. Harkura! My world is suddenly tilting and I recognize the sensation is falling. Oh, I was pushed by Sho? I managed to keep my shield up, but it doesn't matter. Julius's dark fire shatters my shield in one hit, hitting the spot where I was standing. The spot where Sho is now standing. Oh, great, Sho. Don't be a hero. Ugh! I hit the ground hard. I felt sharp bits of glass cut deep into my skin. I don't care right now. With my heart pounding, I scramble to sit up and see what damage the fireball caused. My gut reaction is relief when I see Sho still standing there, but I quickly realize he's enveloped in black flames. I can't see his expression, but I can sense that something is terribly wrong. He falls to his knees and I reach out to him, but I can't make it in time. I watch as Sho sags, then tumbles away to the ground without so much as trying to catch himself. Sho! I crawl across the shards of broken glass to Sho, barely registering the pain. When I reach him, I clench my fist, like I saw Shinji do so long ago, and the flames ravaging his body vanish. Sho! I pull Sho up by the shoulders and lie his head across my knees. His eyes are closed and I can't tell if he's breathing or not. I try not to look at how badly he's burned all over, how his skin seems to be smoldering and fading away. I just focus on his eyes and getting them to open for me. Please, Sho, wake up. He isn't moving, and it doesn't look like he's breathing. I don't know what to do. What am I supposed to do? Open up a can, woman! Open up a can, dearie! Please, someone tell me, if I really have all this power, can't I help Sho? I hope so! Otherwise, this is gonna be a very disappointing game indeed. I desperately look around for Hikaru, only to realize that he, Shinji, and Tetsuya have been fending off Julius this entire time. It looks like Julius is easily keeping the three of them busy just by throwing around fireballs the size that he threw at me. Tetsuya is trying to get close to Julius with his ice blade, while Shinji is directly attacking Julius with water. Hikaru is blowing all of the fireballs off course so that they hit different parts of the ballroom. But I can't care about anything else right now. Professor? Hikaru dodges a fireball, but he doesn't have to hear me. I look down at Sho's completely battered body and choke back a sob. Hikaru, help me! This gets his attention as he looks directly at me in clear confusion and distress. When he sees Sho, his eyes go wide. He glances back at the literal fire fight Shinji and Tetsuya are having with Julius and then runs over to us. My gods! He kneels down next to us and touches one of the few places of Sho's that's not burned. Hope swells in my heart as light emanates first from Hikaru's hand, then moves to surround his entire body. I feel like I can breathe when I see Sho's long eyelashes flutter. Sho! I start crying all over again when he takes in a shuddering breath. Hazy gold eyes stare into mine. My heart feels like it's being gripped in a vice as he struggles to focus on me. I take his hand into mine and intertwine our fingers. Oh gosh, look at him. Harkura, so you're okay. Sho's lips twitch and I realize he's trying to smile. All of the words I've been thinking tumble out against my will. I'm here, Sho. I'm here, Sho. Are you alright? You shouldn't have done that for me. My imitation of a life is nothing compared to your real one, Sho. Sho's voice is cracked and dry as he tries to respond to me. Don't ever say that. Your life, it means more to me than mine. So don't say that. I try to scrub the endless flow of tears away from the face, but they won't stop. Open up a can, Harkura! Take out his sorry hiney! Why do I feel like why does he... My head's a scrambled mess and nothing makes sense. But I know I have to hold on to Sho, have to help him. No, none of that matters right now. We can talk about it later. All that matters is that you're alright, Sho. We're going. Hikaru is going to fix you up, okay? Harkura. Sho manages a real smile this time, even behind all the bruises and burns. That sounds good, but from the look on his face, I don't think that's going to happen. No, don't say that. There's something important that I wanted to tell you later. Uh-oh. But I think I have to say it now. Oh, great. Oh, come on, game. We still have 2 chapters left. No, you can tell me later. You're fine. You're awake now, so you're going to be fine. I'm going to protect you too, Sho. I'm not leaving you, so please don't leave me. Sho lifts his hand to try to touch my face, but it starts to fall. I grab it before it can and hold it to my face for him. Thanks. I'm sorry that I've always been so useless as your partner, but Despite his best effort, Sho's voice fades to whisper and I can't hear what he's trying to say. Sho? Sho? I can't hear his strained breathing anymore. The hand that I'm holding goes limp, and those gold eyes I love so much seem to become distant. Sho! He's slipping away and I can't hold on to him. I stare vacantly into his glassy, unfocused eyes, not understanding, not wanting to understand. A large hand reaches into my field of vision, covering Sho's face for just a moment. When it moves back, Sho's eyes are closed. A shudder goes through me. With one gesture, I'm forced to accept the reality of the situation. Despair descends upon me like a nightfall over the earth. No, it can't. It can't be. He can't be. I stroke his cheek numbly, hoping that the sensation will wake him up. Suddenly, Shu's body feels warm on my arms, and a ray of hope cuts through my despair. Sho? I excitedly look up at Yukaru, unable to stop smiling through my tears. He feels really warm all of a sudden. Could you check him? I think he might be okay. Harkura, I think you should... Huh? Golden specks of light appear around Sho, shimmering. They dance slowly around him and he looks almost otherworldly. He feels so hot in my arms. Sho? I feel a sense of something for just an instant. Harkura! Suddenly Sho's legs just disintegrate into ashes like a phoenix. Higher and higher I watch as Sho's body slowly crumbles into dust. Well, this is depressing. It doesn't even feel real. I can't comprehend what I'm seeing. Yeah, it's when a phoenix dies, they burn into ashes. That is until it reaches the part of his body that's on my knees. Still holding his hand, I embrace his head with my other arm and in vain attempt to protect some part of him. I place my face against his, but I can feel it turn to ash beneath me. The hand I was holding simply slips through my fingertips. I'm unable to move, unable to think, unable to breathe. I half lie there on a pile of ash under me, stunned into silent horror. Eventually, I feel a hand on my shoulder. Harkura. When I don't move, I feel Hikaru start to gently rub my back. I can't help but remember that night with Sho, where he held me and did the same thing. I really am in love with you, Sho. My hands automatically tighten and dig into the ashes. And that's it. That's when it hits me that he's really gone. I feel like my heart bursts into a million tiny fragments, and I start wailing like a child. Meanwhile, there's a big battle between Julius and the other boys during this time, but I don't care! Why? Why, Sho? My life isn't worth anything, especially not yours. Distantly, I realize that both Shinji and Tetsuya have walked over to us, breathing hard. Wait, what happened to Julius? Shh! Sho! Sho! Are you quite done? My sobbing slows as I come to realize that Julius is still here. Julius, the one who took Sho away from me. I lift my head and I look at Julius. Ooh, that's your biggest mistake. That's your biggest mistake, sir. He's sitting on the pile of rubble which once held his corpse, one leg dangling over the side. Julius puts both his hands behind him and smoothly stretches. I let you have your moment. Do you fully feel the impact of your foolishness yet? I slowly stand up, not bothering to dust myself off. Do you now truly grasp how serious I am, that you cannot win? Give yourself up and none of your other friends have to die. You're gonna kill them anyway. Choose not to, and I'm more than prepared to continue to break you, my little butterfly. This is a situation in which you cannot win. No, don't even think about it, Harkura. Takumi walks slowly out towards our group, keeping an eye on Julius the whole time. He glances at me, and his expression becomes severe when he looks down by my feet. I can't think about what's left of... I need to focus on avenging him however I can, and saving my friends. Sho. Harkura. I know what happened to Sho. I saw it myself. But that doesn't mean you should give yourself up. That wouldn't be honoring Sho's sacrifice at all. I flinch when I hear the word sacrifice. Sacrifice. That's why. What Sho did, it was a sacrifice, and it happened because of me. Takumi is right. There's no point in giving yourself up. We can handle this, Arkura. No. I couldn't protect Sho. I won't let anyone else die for me. I start walking slowly towards Julius. In my mind, this is the only thing that makes sense. Do you swear to leave them alone? Do you swear to leave them alone if I give myself up? Julius stares at me, trying to gauge how serious I am. I stare dully back. Once they're out of here, I'll have nothing left to lose. Takumi starts to move towards me, and I see Julius's eyes go towards him. I turn to him and hold out a hand. Stop! Takumi stops walking right where he is. But the action is so unnatural, I realize that it was actually my magic that stopped him. What am I even doing? Sorry, Taku, I can't let you get hurt. Arkura, please! I swear not to harm any of your friends, as long as neither they nor you try anything. Fine. Do whatever you'd like with me. As long as you keep your promise, I'll keep mine. I'm glad you finally understand there's no way out. We have a deal. Yulia stands up and walks towards me. I glance at the other guys, but Tatsuya is staring at Sho's ashes in some kind of silent horror. And Shinji doesn't seem to be staring at anything at all. Only Takumi and Hikaru are watching us. Takumi is struggling and straining against my magic. When I see how frustrated he looks, I shift my eyes away. Only Hikaru seems to be willingly accepting my decision. Our eyes meet and I feel like he's searching me for something. I stare back, confident in my decision. Hikaru eventually gives me a slight nod. He mouths something imperceptibly. Stay strong. I nod back. Hikaru's small kindness is almost enough to make me start crying again, but I hold back. Julius comes to stand next to me, not bothering to even touch me. He sneers at the guys and folds his arms. It's all I can do not to beg them to take me with them. I watch Hikaru drag Takumi out, kicking and screaming, while a dazed Shinji and Tatsuya are herded out ahead of me. I pointedly avoid looking at the remains of Sho and concentrate on not crying. When I hear the doors of the ballroom close, all of the remaining hope is extinguished. That's when Julius turns to me. His smile sends a chill down my spine. Now the real fun can begin. Oh my gosh, and then it turns to a bed. Oh my gosh. Despite his haunting words that kept me paralyzed in fear, Julius merely led me down to a hall to a room where I would be staying. I can't tell when he's just messing with me or if he's going to do something awful. A thought enters my mind then. Maybe he's deliberately trying to mess with my head. This is where you'll be staying from now on, my little butterfly. Julius sounds strangely cheerful as he says this. Without thinking about it, I walk to the balcony overlooking the lake. A sharp pain rips through me when I remember that's the same lake Sho held me beside. Now, remember that promise you made. If you try to run away, I will hunt down and kill each and every single one of your friends and family. I give a curt nod and turn my gaze out towards the evening sky instead. Well then, there are a few things I need before I can start the ritual to take your powers. Don't be lonely, my little butterfly. I'll be back to play with you soon. Ugh. I need to take a shower after this session. With those last threatening words hanging in the air, Julius walks out of the room, finally leaving me to myself. To be honest, as much as I fear him, I almost fear being alone more right now. Images of what happened to Sho come creeping into my mind, mixed with the dread of what Julius is about to do to me. The last ritual that was done to me, it was against my will too. Remembering the pain and helplessness of that night, I find that I can't stop shaking. After a few minutes, my spiral of hellish thoughts are interrupted by a shout so loud and angry my breath catches in my throat. Was that Julius? The yelling continues and I am able to confirm that it's definitely Julius shouting, though I can't tell what about. A few minutes later, I hear loud footsteps, everyone causing my anxiety to rise. When the door slams open, I jump. Julius strides into the room and throws something on the bed. Upon closer evaluation, I realize it's the hilt of some sort of weapon. It would seem one of your little friends found the time to snoop around my mansion and broke that. Consider yourself fortunate that I've already promised not to harm them. Julius spits the words at me and I take a step back. I've never seen him this angry, but at least it sounds like he intends to keep his word. I needed that dagger. Until I can find another, I have no choice but to delay the ritual. Julius storms off without waiting for my reply, mumbling about having to go back to some black market again. A smile slinks to my face. Something I wasn't sure I still could do. Takumi, I bet it was you, wasn't it? Seeing Julius in such a terrible mood and knowing he'll have to delay his ritual brightens my mood just the smallest bit. Even if it's consequential in the end, I feel better knowing we were able to get some small bit of revenge. 2 days have passed, gosh, since I gave myself up as a captive. 2 days without show. It's been taking everything I have to not think about him because I won't be able to get through the tedious days otherwise. I haven't seen much of Julius, but when I have, he's looked extremely annoyed. For my part, I've just done my best to avoid him and horrible thoughts. I've been allowed to have my run of the mansion and the mansion grounds. Or rather, Julius just didn't seem to care when I finally got the courage to ask him. No one stopped me, and I haven't even seen anyone besides the person that gives me food, but they never say anything. The mansion is eerily silent most of the time, save for the sound of waves against the lake shore at times. But I can't bring myself to visit the pier so I'm exploring the little forest path I found near Julius's mansion. At first I thought he just had complete arrogance that I wouldn't run away, but I quickly came to realize that there are people who are always watching me. Even here I can feel their eyes on me. I'm on the little path walking back to the house when I hear a voice. After a moment I recognize it as Julius's. He seems to be mumbling to himself again. Quickly I look around for a way to get away, but the bushes are thick, and I might end up getting lost if I did. It'd be awful if he thought I was trying to run away, no telling what he'd do. I'm out of time to think because Julius is there, looking altogether out of place with his suit. What are you doing so far from the mansion? I could ask you the same. I fix him with a stare, giving the most bored look I can muster. I could ask you the same. Amusement dances in his scarlet eyes. I cannot help but feel a little disappointed. I realize that I was hoping for a more emotional reaction. You could, but I doubt that you enjoy my answer very much. I want to ask, but at the same time I'm afraid of the answer. I shudder. It's hard to believe that the gorgeous man standing in front of me is Shou's murderer, but I won't let myself forget that fact. There is one thing I've been trying to figure out since Julius revealed his plan to me, though. Why? Why are you doing all of this? Why are you trying so hard to hurt me and everyone I care about? What could be worth that? Unintentionally, I end up shouting the words at him. When I realize what I've done, I shrink back, but I refuse to apologize. After all you've done to us, after all you're going to put me through, don't I at least deserve to know why? Julius stares at me for a moment, his expression unreadable. You want to know my motivations, then? I assume you imagine it's something rather monstrous, perhaps the ever-so-cliché take over the world. No, but you've been pretty darn cliché up to now. That perhaps I was driven to madness by the lust of power or simple boredom. There has to be something more than just boredom. Even your lust for power has to be more than just simple. You must have some higher goal to do all of this. Did he? Did he just look sad for a second there? And what if there wasn't any higher purpose? Oh, I see now. You wish to know if your boyfriend died because of something more. Are you going to answer my question or not? Snap. I suppose I'll entertain your need to know. I was born during a time before the fall of the phoenix kind. We were blessed with gifts from the stars, such as the power to resurrect. But it made them foolish. Since we could come back to life whenever we wished, it was not something phoenixes valued. Perhaps that's why a great calamity fell upon us. Many died and we lost our land. During that time, phoenixes were taken under the protection of the Empress Laurentia, and she gave us a place to live. And I was given away as a token of gratitude when I was but a child. The first Empress didn't see me as anything more than a toy, and an eventual bed warmer. But the next one was even worse. Julius pauses here and looks away. I feel like for once he sounds normal. All traces of pretense are gone from his voice, leaving only what I interpret as profound loneliness. Some time passed and other beings known as dark phoenixes began to appear. I myself became one through unusual circumstances. We were shunned from society. We are hated, called corrupted, and abominations. Throughout my long life, I still have worked to protect them and give them chance at light they might not otherwise have. I alone gave them homes, and helped them however I could. And with your power, I can use it to truly better the lives of dark phoenixes, to make Phoenix society see the truth. I don't know what to say. Whatever I was expecting, it wasn't that. Could my power really help so many people? And Julius, he himself must be seen as a hero to his people. But that doesn't mean he should kill people. Why did he have to kill Sho like that? Why did he use such ruthless methods? That's what I want to know. Julius reaches into his jacket pocket and pulls out a cell phone. What is it? I turn away from Julius as he talks, feeling conflicted. It's clear Julius must have felt an immense amount of pain in his lifetime, but what about Sho's pain? Sho didn't deserve to die like that. Behind me, I can hear a part of Julius's conversation. Ah, excellent work finding the dagger. Thank you. Finding ancient weapons that still work is always such a bother. I'll be able to finally start the ritual. Did you just say he found another dagger? I back away slowly as dread takes me in its icy grasp. I realize that my relatively peaceful time is coming to an end and briefly consider just running away. No one else is getting hurt because of me. I take a deep breath and turn on my heel, quickly walking away from Julius.